Welcome back to the ITH movement. You're here with the founders and creators of ITH Hostels and a few of the other commission of board members. We wanted to ask them a few questions regarding activities and events at hostels. I had one from a Carly in Buffalo. She asked, "How would you create a vibe in my hostel that got staff excited about participating?" Do any of you guys have anything that you would like to express to Carly on how she could make her staff excited about events?
Yeah, sure. I'll jump in this. I think it starts with, understanding your destination and understanding things you like to do and kind of blending those two together. As the seasons change, there's more popular activities to do. So, as an ultimate host at a hostel, your guests are coming to your city for normally a specific experience, whether it's surfing or climbing or hiking. So, you know, at its core, you could start and try and base your activities around those main themes that each destination has to offer. And then more on a micro level inside the hostel, it starts with what you like to do for fun, what your staff likes to do for fun. And, there's a variety of games from karaoke night to, beer Olympics with beer pong to jam sessions, barbecues. Those are some of the ones we like to do at ITH. But finding those activities and coordinating, planning, who's going to lead that activity, and then making sure they enjoy those activities themselves. If they're having fun, then they can bring the guests along with them and have fun.
Awesome, awesome. Thanks, Bob. What about you, Gail Burgundy? Do you have anything you would like to share on this topic?
Someone in the audience didn't hear the question. Could you repeat it?
Absolutely. We had Carly from Buffalo. She wanted to know how to create a vibe at the hostel that the staff would still get excited about and motivated to work at.
Well, I think that it's important that you always have to cultivate that because it's something that you can't just leave to be in its perfect form and think that it will stay there. It takes constant cultivation, and I think people sometimes confuse that with why do I always have to fucking deal with this? That's the wrong way to look at it. You're always going to have to deal with it, and that's the first realization of a successful like cultivation process of realizing you've got to be keeping a pulse on it, be preventative, see things coming before they do, and keep things fresh because things do go stale or out of touch with the current demographic. So my word would be cultivation.
All right. Words from the Gail Burgundy from ITH8 News, for those of you who do not know. Cultivation. All right, we have David Tecca. He runs the Beach Bungalow down in San Diego. What would you do, David?
Can you repeat that question again?
Absolutely. This was from Carly in California, so she's in your neighborhood. Uh, how would you create a vibe in the hostel that staff got excited and motivated to work at?
How do you keep the vibe? Well, I mean, I think that the whole reason why hostels are made is because of the vibe. Um, so, obviously having a great location creates a vibe, but just, cultivating that vibe, like Jimmy said, um, you have to, maintain that vibe running good. So taking out the bad apples, it's something that we practice a lot at Beach Bungalow since it's such a strong vibe going on that a lot of people want to ruin it. So you have to be good at reading those energies from people that are trying to ruin it and get them out before they make a bad influence on the rest of the people. Cultivating it, like Jimmy said, um, and yeah, I think that's my thoughts on it.
Just to add on to that, Roscoe, the something that to add to David's of a lot of times that person or that bad apple that he's speaking of, they don't know they're doing it. They might actually think the opposite. They might actually think like, man, this place would go under without me. I know it's been here for years before me, but I'm pretty sure that 15 minutes after I leave, this place would crumble. Yeah, a lot of times they are so adamant that they're the ones helping the most, and sometimes that person, because they're in opposition to the actual movement or the vision, they can actually be the most toxic one and not even know it.
Well stated, well stated. And we do have Steve Best in the call. However, I'm not sure he's presently available. Steve, did you have anything you wanted to push in on there?
Get a drop bear. That's the key.
Ah, the
You need a
drop
drop bear on
bear.
location. Um, no, but I would say, it's important to not be afraid to fail. You're going to try things that aren't going to work out. Some things are going to work out amazingly, and to not be hard on yourself if something doesn't work out. People are there to have a great time. Um, if you guys are doing the same thing week in, week out, it's not always going to be a great time for some of your people that are there. So um, it's it's important to make sure that your team's energized and see you leading by example. If you're enthused about the vibe in the hostel, if you're there having fun, more likely that they're going to be having fun and feeding off your energy as well. So leading by example, but also not being afraid to fail, giving your people that you've brought on and trained the ability to say, hey, I love doing meditation evenings and I'm going to host a meditation evening. I think it's a great idea. And, sure enough, that could be one of your best attended events more than a pub crawl, for example. If you've got, a couple of people that don't like to drink, but you're like, hey, we have to run a pub crawl every week. They're not going to be enthusiastic about it. So be willing to change, but don't be afraid to fail, because yeah, you're going to have some things that might fall flat, but you got to give things a shot. You got to be willing to take a shot and learn from those mistakes that you might make. Learn from what worked about that, what didn't work, and take that on board for your next attempt.
Absolutely. Powerful.
Keep trying. Yeah.
All right. For those of you just tuning in, we had a question from Carly in California about how to create a hot vibe in the hostel, a good vibe in the hostel, that staff still got excited and motivated to work at. Bob from ITH, he told us that great, uh, great activities set the pace for a great vibe, good energy. Gail Burgundy from ITH8 told us about cultivating experience, cultivating the people to where they were ready and willing to participate in the events in such a way that matched with the vision and dream at the hostel. We had David who piggybacked on the cultivating and also talked about how sometimes people could have a different element that bring down the energy of the hostel, right? Which was plugged in to also say that a lot of times people bring down that vibrant energy without even understanding that they're doing it, just because their intentions do not align with the hustle. And wrapping it all up was Steve Best with ITH, Adventure Hostel in San Diego. And he said some very powerful words. Don't be scared to fail. Anything that we do is going to have ups and downs. So, of course, if you go in there thinking you're going to be 100% successful every time, you're already setting yourself up for a headache. So with all that said, thank you, gentlemen. It's been a great day. I'll see y'all next week.